I stood beside Emily while she adjusted the ring on her finger. Not because it was heavy, but because it caught the light exactly the way she wanted. "Does it look right?" she asked. "It looks solid," I said. She smiled, satisfied, and turned back to her phone. I watched her scroll. Emails, numbers, names. I didn't recognize. I told myself that was normal. She was a CEO now. Busy meant successful. Mark leaned toward me and whispered, "You okay?" "I'm fine," I said. He didn't look convinced. "You've been saying that a lot. I'm getting married," I said. "I should be fine." Emily glanced up. "What are you two whispering about?" "Nothing," I said quickly. "Mark was just asking about the venue." She nodded without interest. "Make sure they fix the lighting. I don't want shadows in the photos." "I'll handle it," I said. She didn't thank me. I didn't need her to. I reminded myself that love wasn't a transaction. It was effort. It was patience. It was sacrifice. Lena called while Emily stepped away to take another work call. "Is she with you?" Lena asked. "She stepped out," I said. Lena lowered her voice anyway. "Are you sure about this?" I laughed. "You sound like Mark now." "I'm serious," she said. "You don't sound happy." "I'm proud," I said. "That counts." "Of her," Lena replied. "Or of you." I didn't answer fast enough. "She worked hard," I said finally. "So did you," Lena said. "You paid her rent when her startup failed. You sold your car. You took night shifts." "I believed in her," I said. "And does she believe in you?" Lena asked. Emily returned before I could answer. "I have to take this," she said, already walking away again. I watched her leave and felt that familiar tightening in my chest. Mark cleared his throat. "You remember when she said she hated surprises?" "Yeah," I said. "And now the wedding guest list doubled without you knowing," I said. "She's under pressure," I replied. He studied my face. "You always explain her behavior before anyone else has to." I forced a smile. "That's what partners do." He shook his head. "That's what people do when they're scared to be alone." Emily came back, energized now. "That was Daniel," she said. "He thinks we should invite a few more investors." I tried to keep my voice steady. "Daniel again." She sighed. "Why do you always say his name like that?" "Like what?" "Like he's a problem," she snapped. "I didn't say that," I said. "You don't have to," she replied. "Your tone does it for you." "I just think he's very involved," I said carefully. "He's funding my company," she said. "Of course he's involved." "I know," I said. "I just don't," she interrupted. "Don't turn this into another jealousy thing." "I'm not jealous," I said. She laughed softly. "You say that every time?" Mark stepped in. "Emily, he's just asking." She held up her hand. "This is between us." Mark leaned back, annoyed. Emily looked at me. "You trust me, right?" "Yes," I said immediately. "Then stop questioning everything," she said. "It makes you look insecure." The word landed harder than she knew. "I'm just trying to understand," I said. "You don't need to understand," she replied. "You need to support." "I have," I said. "I always have." She checked her watch. "I have a meeting. We'll talk later." She kissed my cheek, already distracted. I stood there holding silence. Lena texted me. "She didn't even look at you." I typed back. "She's stressed." Mark watched Emily leave. "You ever notice how you disappear when she walks into a room?" "I'm not disappearing," I said. "I'm adjusting." "To what?" he asked. "Being smaller?" I didn't answer. That night I sat alone with the ring box open on the table. I remembered buying it. The clerk asked my budget. I lied. I remembered my bank balance dropping and telling myself it was temporary. Everything was temporary. I told myself, Emily came home late. "You're still up?" she asked. "I was waiting," I said. She dropped her bag. "For what?" "For you," I said. She frowned. "You don't need to wait up." "I wanted to talk," I said. She sat across from me. "About?" "About us," I said. She rubbed her temples. "We're fine." "You barely look at me anymore," I said. She exhaled sharply. Here we go. I just want to feel included, I said. You are included, she said. You're marrying me. That's not what I mean, I said. She stood. I'm tired. We'll talk another time, Emily, I said. Are you happy? She paused at the door. Happiness isn't a feeling. It's momentum. Then she went to bed. I sat alone again. I told myself loyalty mattered. More than ego. I told myself love meant enduring. Doubt. I told myself I was strong. Enough to stand beside her success. And I believed it. For now. Emily. Stopped listening before I finished the sentence. I just think Daniel crosses lines sometimes. I said. She didn't look up from her laptop. There it is. There what? I asked. That tone, she said. The one you use when you're insecure? I'm not insecure, I said. I'm uncomfortable. She laughed without humor. Same thing. I leaned back. He texts you at midnight. He's my investor, she replied. Time zones exist. He talks about our wedding like it's a business launch, I said. She snapped the laptop shut. You're jealous. I'm concerned, I said. You don't like that? I don't need you anymore. She said, the words stung more than they should have. I've never needed to be needed, I said. I just wanted to matter. She stood. I don't have time for this. You never do, I said. She paused. That's unfair. So is calling me insecure every time I speak, I said. She grabbed her coat. We'll talk later. She always said that. Later never came. I replayed the argument all night, editing my own words until they sounded wrong. Maybe I had pushed too hard. Maybe success really did change people. Maybe I was the problem, Mark called the next morning. She snapped at you again, didn't she? He asked. We had a disagreement, I said. He sighed. You use gentle words for sharp things. She's under pressure, I said. Everyone's under pressure, he replied. That doesn't excuse disrespect. She didn't mean it, I said. You always say that, he said. Do you ever hear what she actually says? I didn't answer. That weekend I attended a corporate party with her. Glass walls. Soft music. People who shook hands like it was currency. Emily moved through the room. It's like she owned it. I followed half a step behind. This is Daniel, she said, pulling me forward. Daniel smiled. So you're the fiancée. It's me, I said. He looked me up and down. You're lucky, Emily laughed. He knows. Daniel leaned closer to her. We should talk about the expansion timeline. She nodded. After the wedding, he glanced at me again. If the wedding doesn't slow you down? I smiled. Love tends to motivate. Huh? Daniel's smile thinned. In business, emotions are liabilities. Emily didn't disagree. I excused myself and headed to the bar. Sophia stood there, clutching a drink she hadn't touched. Hi, I said. You're Emily's assistant, right? She nodded. Sophia, enjoying the party? I asked. She hesitated. It's informative. That sounds ominous, I said. Her eyes flicked toward Daniel. I should get back. Hey, I said gently. Is everything okay? She opened her mouth, then closed it. Emily is very driven. She always has been, I said. Sophia lowered her voice. Just be careful. Careful of what? I asked. She straightened. Congratulations on the engagement. Then she walked away. Stood there holding more questions than answers, Mark. Found me near the exit. You. Look like you want to disappear, he said. I feel like a shadow, I replied. You don't belong in her world anymore, he said. That's not true, I said. I helped build it. And she climbed past you, he said. Without looking back, she loves me, I said. He met my eyes. Does she show it? I thought about it. I thought about silence. She does, I said finally. In her way? Mark shook his head. One day you'll hear yourself say that and wonder why you tried so hard to believe it. Emily didn't speak to me on the drive home. At red lights, she typed, Who are you texting? I asked Daniel, she said. We need to adjust seating. You already finalized that? I said. Plans change, she replied. So do people, I said. She glanced at me. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, I said. Just tired. Me too. The next morning, my phone buzzed nonstop. Notifications. Messages. Tags.Emily had posted an update. Wedding venue upgraded. Guest list expanded. New date pending. So excited for what's next? I stared at the screen. She hadn't told me. Lena called immediately. Did you know about this? She asked. No, I said. Mark texted. She didn't even warn you. Emily walked into the room smiling. Isn't it exciting? She said. You announced changes before telling me, I said. She frowned. I assumed you'd be okay. Why would you assume that? I asked. Because you always are, she said. You're adaptable. Right. I swallowed. I'm not invisible, she sighed. Why are you making this a problem? Because it hurts, I said. She softened her voice. You're reading too much into it. I nodded slowly. Smile, she said. People are watching, I smiled. That night, alone in the bathroom, I stared at my reflection. I whispered, why do I feel like I'm already losing her? The mirror didn't answer, but the silence felt loud. The hall smelled like flowers I didn't choose. I stood at the altar, hands steady, heart loud, telling myself this was the calm before happiness. Mark leaned close and whispered, You still good? I'm here, I said. That counts. He nodded like he wasn't sure. The music started. Phones lifted. The live stream indicator glowed red on the screen. Near the aisle, Emily walked in smiling, not at me, at the cameras. I felt a small crack open in my chest and sealed it shut immediately. This is it, I told myself. Don't ruin it with fear. She reached the altar. She took my hands. Her grip was light. The officiant began. We are gathered here. Emily's phone buzzed. She let go of my hand to silence it. I looked at her. You okay? She laughed softly. Just nerves. Me too. The vows began. I spoke first. I choose you, I said. Not your success. Not your title, you. She didn't meet my eyes. Then it was her turn. She inhaled. She laughed again. Sharper this time. I didn't plan this part, she said. The room chuckled nervously. I thought I could, she continued. But I can't lie, my heart stumbled. What are you doing? I whispered. She pulled her hand away. I need to be honest, she said, voice carrying. With myself? With everyone. The officiant froze. Emily turned to the crowd. I felt trapped. A murmur rippled through the room. Trapped by expectations, she said. By someone who doesn't understand my ambition. My ears rang. Emily, I said quietly. Stop. She looked at me then. Really looked. You're jealous, she said. You always have been. Gasps. I swallowed. This isn't the time. This is the only time, she replied. I won't shrink for love. I felt heat crawl up my neck. I never asked you to, I said. You didn't have to, she said. Your insecurity did it for you. The word landed like a slap. Phones rose higher. This isn't real, I told myself. This is shock. This will end. I need space, she said. I need a pause. A pause. At the altar live. Daniel stood up from the front row. I support Emily, he said. This takes courage. I stared at him. You don't get to speak, I said. Emily nodded at him. Thank you. I heard Aunt Rena sob. I turned my head. She was shaking, hands pressed together, eyes full. Please, she whispered. Please. Emily didn't look at her. You're embarrassing us, I said, my voice low. She tilted her head. See? Control. I'm asking you to stop, I said. I'm asking you to let me go, she replied. The officiant cleared his throat. Perhaps we should know, Emily said. This needs to be seen. I felt my chest hollow out. Say something, Mark hissed behind me. I couldn't. If I opened my mouth, everything inside me would spill out and drown us all. So I stayed still. I can't marry someone who feels threatened by my growth, Emily said. I nodded slowly. I never threatened you, I said. I held you up. Oh, she scoffed. You held me back. That was when something broke. Not loudly, cleanly. I looked at her and saw a stranger wearing my memories. Is this final? I asked. She hesitated. Daniel stood again. Emily deserves freedom. I laughed once, quietly. That's your answer? I asked her. She looked away. I'm choosing myself. I released her hands. The room fell silent. The live stream kept rolling. Emily lifted her bouquet and set it down. I'm sorry, she said. Without sounding like it, she walked past me. The crowd parted. Whispers followed her like shadows. I stayed at the altar alone. The officiant looked at me. I'm so sorry. I nodded. Aunt Rena reached me, tears on her cheeks. I raised you better than this, she said, voice trembling. You deserved better. I know, I said. Mark stood beside me. Say the word. I'll shut this down. I shook my head. Let them watch. Why? He asked. Because this is who she is, I said. And this is who I am. The cameras didn't blink. People stared like I was a lesson. I straightened my shoulders. I won't chase someone who walks away. I said aloud. Some guests looked ashamed. Some looked entertained. Daniel guided Emily toward the exit. She didn't look back. The doors closed. The music didn't. Restart. I stood there in silence that felt louder than applause. I looked into the camera, not with anger, with clarity. That was the moment. I said quietly, I stopped being her future and became her past. The first thing I did after the wedding was nothing. I didn't post. Didn't explain. I didn't defend myself. Mark called 3 times before I answered. Say something, he said. People are tearing her apart online. It's not my job, I said. They're tearing you apart too, he replied. I know, I said. Let them. There was a pause. You're scaring me. I'm calm, I said. For the first time, I left the apartment the next morning. Without telling anyone where I was, Lena found me anyway. She sat across from me in the small cafe and stared until I spoke. You didn't even cry, she said. I cried enough already. I replied. She reached for my hand. You don't have to be strong. I'm not trying to be, I said. I'm trying to stay upright, she nodded. Do you hate her? I thought about it. No, I said. I hate what I ignored. Emily's first message came that night. I never meant to hurt you. I stared at it until the screen dimmed. I didn't answer. Another came an hour later. Things got out of control. I set the phone face down. Mark showed up. Unannounced the next day. You're trending, he said. I'm unavailable. I replied. He leaned against the wall. She's panicking. That's new, I said. She keeps asking where you are, he added. I'm exactly where I should be, I said. He watched me closely. You're not plotting, are you? No, I said. I'm listening to what? He asked. To the quiet, I said. It tells the truth. Lena helped me go through documents I'd never questioned before. Why is this loan under your name? She asked. I trusted her, I said. And this contract? She pressed. I believed in us, I replied. She shook her head. You funded her future and never asked for credit. I didn't want credit, I said. I wanted partnership. Emily texted again. Can we talk? I locked the phone. Sophia reached out 2 days later. She didn't call. She emailed. I'm sorry to contact you like this. She wrote. But you deserve to know. I met her in a quiet park. She sat stiffly, hands folded. I should have said something sooner, she said. You tried, I replied. I just wasn't ready to hear it. She exhaled. Daniel coached her speech. I closed my eyes. He said public control would make her look powerful, she continued. He told her you'd stay quiet. He was right, I said. Sophia looked at me. You're not angry? I'm done, I replied. She swallowed. He's distancing himself now. Of course he is, I said. She's unraveling, Sophia added. She doesn't know how to stand without support, I nodded. She never had to learn. Sophia hesitated. He's blaming you. That's convenient, I said. Emily's messages kept coming. I miss you. We should fix this privately. Please don't let this define us. I didn't open them. Mark asked. Aren't you curious? No, I said. Curiosity kept me stuck. Lena watched me delete old photos. You're not erasing her, she said softly. I'm returning myself, I replied. One night Mark asked, what if she shows up? I'll listen, I said. I just won't kneel. Emily sent one final message. I didn't think you'd disappear? I stared at it. I thought about all the times I'd stayed when leaving would have hurt less. I deleted it without. Opening silence filled the room. It felt earned. I didn't hear about Emily's collapse from her. I heard it from Mark. Investors are pulling out, he said quietly. I nodded. It's how fear moves. He turned on her. Mark added. Daniel, I didn't react. That's it. He asked. No comment? I'm not surprised, I said. I'm informed. She's blaming you, he said. I expected that too, I replied. Mark exhaled. You're colder. I'm clearer, I said. Lena called later. There's a lawsuit, she said. Company debt. Misrepresentation. Am I involved? I asked. No, she said. Your name isn't attached. I closed my eyes. 'Cause I stepped away, yes, she said. You're legally clean. And I'm done, I replied. Emily texted that night. We need to talk. Face to face. I didn't answer. She showed up anyway. I opened the door and found her standing there without makeup, without posture, without armor. You look different, she said. So do you, I replied. She stepped inside. You didn't respond. I didn't need to, I said. She folded her arms. I'm losing everything. I nodded. I know. You don't care? She asked. I care, I said. I just don't carry it anymore. She laughed weakly. You're punishing me? No, I said. I'm not participating. She paced. Daniel sabotaged me. You gave him access, I replied. He promised stability, she said. He promised control, I corrected. She stopped. Why didn't you warn me harder? I did, I said. You called it jealousy. She swallowed. Why didn't you fight for me? The question hung heavy. I did, I said quietly. For years. She shook her head. Not like this. You wanted a public stand? I said. I gave you private loyalty. Tears filled her eyes. I needed you. I was there, I said. You just didn't see value in it. She sat down heavily. Everything is falling apart. I know, I said. She looked up. Say something comforting. I can't, I replied. Why? She asked. Because it wouldn't be honest, I said. She wiped her face. You planned this? No, I said. I survived this. You walked away and left me exposed, she said. I walked away because staying was erasing me, I replied. Her voice cracked. I thought you'd always catch me. I leaned forward. Didn't destroy you. Just stopped saving you. She covered her mouth. That's cruel, she whispered. It's truthful, I said. She stood suddenly. I made mistakes. So did I said. I ignored them. She looked around the apartment. You're calm. I earned it, I replied. You're enjoying this, she accused. I shook my head. I feel distance. She stared at me. You don't love me anymore? I love who I was with you, I said. I don't recognize who you became. She backed toward the door. I need help. You need accountability, I said. She opened the door, then turned. If you had spoken up louder, I spoke clearly. I interrupted. You just didn't like the message. She left without another word. Mark called an hour later. She's spiraling, he said. I hope she lands, I replied. That's it? He asked. That's all? I said. I sat alone and felt nothing like victory. Just space, quiet. Freedom. I hadn't known I was missing. I didn't win. I reclaimed. No one clapped when my life got quieter. Mark noticed first. You walk differently, said one morning. I didn't know I was slouching, I replied. You were carrying weight that wasn't yours, he said. I thought about that all day. Work changed, not dramatically, just steadily. I stopped over-explaining. I stopped apologizing for needing time. When someone crossed a line, I said, that doesn't work for me. I meant it. Lena called after getting her exam results. I passed, she said, voice shaking. I never doubted it, I replied. You paid the last fee without telling me, she said. I invested, I corrected, in someone who shows up. She laughed. You sound different? I feel aligned, I said. She paused. I like this version. So do I replied. Emily stopped appearing in my dreams. That surprised me. I expected ghosts. I got silence. At lunch one day, a new guy sat across from me. Mind if I join? Go ahead, I said. I'm Noah, he said. First week, I stopped myself. Call me whatever works. He smiled nervously. You seem settled. I am, I said. He hesitated. How? By listening when something feels wrong, I replied. He nodded slowly. My manager keeps taking credit for my work. What do you do about it? I asked. Nothing, he said. I don't want to rock the boat. Studied him. That boat is already leaking, I said. He laughed, unsure. You sound like you've been there. I stayed longer than I should have, I said. Mark joined us later. You mentoring already? He asked. No, I said. Just remembering. Therapy didn't come with dramatic revelations. It came with questions. Why did you believe love required endurance? When did you learn to ignore discomfort? I answered them slowly. I thought loyalty meant silence. I told myself one night. I wrote it down. Then I crossed it out. I met Noah again the next week. I spoke up, he said. And? I asked. They listened, he said, surprised. It worked. I smiled. You taught them how to treat you. He looked relieved. I didn't know I was allowed to. Most people don't, I said. Mark watched us from across the room. You see yourself in him, he said later. I see who I could have been, I replied. And who you aren't anymore, he said. I helped Lena move into her new place. She looked around the small apartment and said, It's not much. It's yours, I replied. She hugged me tightly. You didn't fall apart. I did, I said, just not loudly. Emily's name came up less. When it did, it felt distant, like a story I'd finished reading. One evening Mark asked if she called now, what would you do? I thought about it. I'd wish her well, I said. And then, he asked. And then, I'd continue, I replied. That's growth, he said. No, I said. It's peace. Noah stopped by my desk one afternoon. I turned down a project, he said. Why? I asked. It didn't align, he said, testing the word. I nodded. Good. He smiled. I didn't know I could choose. You always could, I said. You just needed permission from yourself. I sat alone that night thinking about applause. How much of my life I'd shaped for it, how quiet felt uncomfortable at first, then honest. I didn't win her back, I didn't prove anything to the crowd. I'd reclaimed mornings without anxiety. I'd reclaimed sleep. I'd reclaimed my voice. I'd reclaimed my voice. I'd looked in the mirror and didn't search for approval. I just recognized myself, and that was enough. Emily found me where I expected she would, not at work, not at my apartment, at the cafe. I visited every Saturday morning. She stood near the door. Uncertain, smaller somehow. You still take your coffee black, she said. I nodded. Some habits stay. She shifted her weight. Can I sit? You already are, I replied. She smiled weakly and sat down. For a moment, neither of us spoke. I didn't know how to start, she said. You just did, I replied. She folded her hands. I'm sorry I looked at her, not the way I used to. Why? I asked. She blinked. For everything. House broad. I said gently. She swallowed. I was cruel. I confused ambition with worth. I hurt you publicly because I didn't know how to face myself privately. I listened. That felt new. I wanted you to fight for me, she continued, but I never fought for us. I know, I said. Her eyes filled. I thought power would protect me. It isolates, I replied. She nodded. I see that now. We sat in silence again. She whispered, Do you hate me? No, I said. I released you. She looked up sharply. Is that forgiveness? It's closure, I said. She wiped her cheeks. I don't deserve it. Forgiveness isn't about deserving, I replied. It's about finishing, she laughed quietly. You sound peaceful. I am, I said. She stared at me. You're not coming back, are you? No, I said. I already arrived somewhere else. She nodded slowly. I wanted to be the reason you grew. You were the catalyst, I said. Not the destination. She looked down. I wish I'd known how to love you without competing. I wish I'd known how to stop shrinking. I replied. We shared a small smile. She stood first. I hope you're happy. She said, I'm present, I replied. That's better. She hesitated. May I hug you? I considered it, then I nodded. It was brief, clean. She stepped back. Goodbye, goodbye, I said. She walked out. I didn't watch her leave. I watched the sunlight move across the table. The barista brought my coffee. Same as always. She said, thank you. I replied. I took a sip and felt grounded. Mark called later. Was that her? He asked. Yes, I said. And he pressed. And nothing exploded, I replied. He laughed. That's progress. No, I said. That's completion. Lena texted a photo of her bookshelf. I finally filled it. I smiled and typed back, keep going. Noah stopped by my desk that week. I resigned, he said. Where to? I asked. Somewhere that doesn't confuse silence for loyalty, he replied. I nodded. You learn faster than I did. You taught me, he said. I shook my head. You listened. That weekend, I returned to the cafe. Same table. Same light. I sat alone and didn't feel lonely. I thought about love, how I once believed it required endurance. How I confused patience with self-erasure. I stirred my coffee. Slowly, no urgency, no performance, just being. A couple laughed nearby. A child spilled. Sugar life moved quietly. I realized something important. I didn't want revenge. I didn't want applause. I wanted alignment. I wanted to wake up. Without rehearsing who I needed to be, I wanted peace that didn't depend on someone else's approval. I paid for my coffee and stepped. Outside, the sun was warm. Street was ordinary, and I felt complete. I walked forward without looking back. Finished.